Over the last year, Chandler-Gilbert Community College has been engaged in many conversations related to strategic planning. With the previous strategic plan coming to an end, this year the college had to adopt a new strategic plan for the 2016 to 2021 planning period. The purpose of this video is to review some of the progress that was made this year and to discuss next steps as the college continues down the planning process. A strategic plan is a way that the college expresses the direction that it's going to move in order to accomplish an end goal, in our case, student success. It involves multiple layers, building from a foundation of mission, vision, and values up to very specific actions that are going to be taken in order to focus in on that end goal. In our planning structure, it all starts with mission, vision, and values. Those are the foundational statements about who the college is, where the college is going, and how the college does its business. Mission, vision, and values are then made more specific through statements of institutional goals and sub-goals, which speak to the specific priorities of the college over the planning period, in this case the next 5 years, that all of the areas of campus are meant to try to focus their efforts and energy. Once the institutional goal areas and sub-goals are established, we then move to develop master plans. In our case, we have an educational master plan, which we have traditionally called the learning plan, an enrollment master plan, a facility master plan, and a technology master plan. Each one of those plans further narrow down how we might go about accomplishing the institutional goals of the college. As those plans come into place, and looking to the institutional goals of the college, each department on campus every year is asked to put together an operational plan. An operational plan is that department's specific proposal for the direction that it's going to move over the next year or two, and what resources that it needs in order to move in that direction with the goal of accomplishing the college's institutional goals. The operational plans serve a number of purposes. The largest is that it serves as a conversation starter inside a division and between divisions on campus in order for everyone to understand which direction that we're moving in and how our directions might complement each other towards that shared vision and the shared goals of the college. That information in the operational plan also informs the annual budget process, where certain priorities, when resources are available, can be prioritized in order to fast-track progress against those specific plans. After operational planning and budgeting are complete, each year we also engage in a program review process, where we look at each department's progress, greater environment, and new opportunities in order to determine what the appropriate direction is for the next operational plan and to inform how we do what we do so that we have opportunities to get better with each passing year. Program review involves us looking at operational outcomes and learning outcomes in order to both describe and to analyze what's going on in the individual departments across campus where we are day to day carrying out our mission. So looking at those three bands, strategic planning, planning priorities, and objectives, we're going to focus in on the progress over the last year, which has been on the strategic plan. Again, that's the mission, vision, values, and the institutional goals. So the mission, vision, and value statements on this slide were proposed after a series of conversations around campus about whether to and how to amend the existing mission, vision, and values. These, we are excited to announce, have been recently adopted by the governing board, so we are all set to go starting July 1st of 2016 with the college's new statements of mission, vision, and values. Now, taking those mission, vision, and value statements, they have been further refined into major areas, major themes or priorities that we call institutional goals. Those listed on this slide include hone practices, open doors, work in tandem, and learn and grow. And each of those statements is meant to represent a major theme where the college needs to put its emphasis in order to accomplish the mission of the college. Now, this table includes both the goal areas that I just mentioned and the sub-goal areas, which are further refinements of those goal themes. Each of the sub-goals represents a specific future state, a specific area where we want all of the areas of campus to potentially contribute in order to further our progress and build to that idea of student success. For each one of these sub-goals, we include references to potential metrics. Some of them are known things that we routinely look at. Some of them are things that we won't know where to look to know if we've accomplished the goal until we've defined how we are going to go about moving towards that sub-goal. But in any regard, as we move forward on all of these things, part of the pattern is that we want to be able to routinely check in to see if we're making progress and to validate that the things that we are doing are things that are actually making an impact on the institution's direction and on the things that we have voiced concern about. So looking at the next step in the process, the strategic plan is coming into shape. Moving from the strategic plan itself, we move to planning priorities. Now, planning priorities are split into 4 buckets, starting with the educational master plan or learning plan. So next fall of 2016, the learning plan will be revised by student affairs and academic affairs staff, who will then take the opportunity to look at the institutional goals that were developed and to document how, through the teaching and learning and student support enterprises of this college, we can more specifically accomplish the institutional goals. After the educational master plan is established, we'll then look at facilities, technology, and enrollment processes in order to determine which investments need to be made, which processes need to be adjusted in coming years in order to get the students in the right place with the right tools in order to fulfill our educational mission. Beyond the planning priorities, the college also, in individual departments, must develop annual operational plans that talks about, given the guidance from the strategic plan and the planning priorities, how that department will move the envelope in its specific area of influence towards those institutional goals. This timeline specifically looks at the 2016-17 school year regarding which activities we're going to have to undertake as the next steps of the process. As with every year moving forward, all departments on campus will engage in operational planning during the fall in order to express the direction and potential actions that might be taken in future years related to furthering our mission. In addition to that, the student affairs and academic affairs faculty and staff will be engaged in educational master planning, developing the learning plan in the fall in order to provide greater levels of detail to departments about how teaching and learning can contribute to our overall institutional goals. In addition to that, we'd like to gather teams in the fall of people from multiple departments in order to come together and look at specific high priority sub-goals so that each of the areas can have better ideas and maybe generate some ideas about how those areas can work together in order to accomplish that specific goal, that specific end. After those things happen in the fall, during the winter period, the college will engage in strategy and budget discussions per the normal expectation, but on a more consolidated timeline than we have over the last couple of years. In the spring, the progress made on the educational master plan will then feed into conversations about updating the technology, facilities, and enrollment master plans so that we have, again, additional ideas and additional opportunities for collaboration around how the enrollment management, facilities, and IT infrastructure can support the learning mission as expressed during the learning plan and express the overall institutional goals. In addition to that, each department will engage in some form of program review where, again, we're looking at what progress has been made, what the current situation looks like in each department, and what opportunities might exist in the future in order to get better and in order to further our mission. In retrospect, we have made a lot of very meaningful progress related to planning and prioritization over the last year at Chandler Gilbert. We're very excited with the place that we're at and looking forward to extremely important conversations starting next fall regarding the specific direction of the college, with the hope of really focusing in on how we can make meaningful, measurable impacts on those areas that are key to our students' future success. Thank you.